should turn that off. Without getting your permission again.
I'm going to give you my signature.
Okay, great, thank you.
My name is Raja Dove, Raja Merk Dove. Merk stands for Merkaba. I'm an Interplanetary Ambassador. Senior Elder Interplanetary Ambassador, as you can see by my beard. I started out as a starseed, and I learned that I was from another world, another dimension, 33 years ago when I came to ChiChen Itza here, in Tulum and Palenque, the sacred temples of the Maya. And now, 33 years later, I'm back as an Elder Senior Ambassador, doing the same work as the mission I was given by the extraterrestrials in these forests and jungles 33 years ago. I was true to my mission. Part of my mission was I was from another world. I was a starseed, born in this body to go out and give the message that the extraterrestrials are our brothers and sisters, our elder brothers and sisters, and our mothers and our fathers, cosmically, and that they seeded the race here, and they come and check from time to time, and they give assistance, but basically they're allowing humans to have their own life. But they are also protecting us. And I was to go out and give that information and to let people of the world know that they're not really humans. They're in the world, but not of it. And that they need to be happy, they need to stop warring and killing one another, killing the animals and eating them, and respect Mother Earth and respect nature. And it was prophesied that 33 years ago that there would come a time called the turn of the ages when many people will gather, when the eagle of the North America will gather with the condor of the South America, and the people of the sacred red city of the South, of Palenque, would join with the people of the red sacred city of the North in Sedona, and they would come together, and people from Asia and Europe would join them, and there would be the gathering of the righteous, and this would be the head of Dove, the head of the people who practice peace and joy. And I really believe, I know that this is that time. This was the turn of the ages. 33 years ago, we were waiting and talking about when 2012 comes, this, and that are going to happen, according to the space people. Everybody was talking about that, reading books about it, and we're living it here. Those of us who have come to this beautiful 2012 synthesis gathering, which is a truly amazing event where people have gathered from all around the world to come celebrate this information and to live it here, to be part of the gathering of the righteous, as well as the Rainbow Tribe also, living love and children of light, living in the forest, back to nature, loving one another and being kind to one another. And so this is what it's all about, and 26,000 years this happens. And once every 26,000 years on planet Earth is what's called astronomically the shift of the ages, the turn of the ages, when a new age astronomically and astrologically will come in. Technically, it's the birth of the age of Aquarius. When Jupiter aligns with Mars, love will steer the planets and peace will guide the stars. And that's now. And so the gathering of the righteous here in the Yucatan was prophesied 26,000 years ago after the fall of Atlantis. And now we're living it. And so when we all gathered together today, in the last couple of days, we have been witnessing phenomena, signs in the skies, times and prophecies. Little children will lead them, as you witnessed today in our lecture hall. The little child taught the elders and the masses just as easy as if it was sipping honey and tea or eating butter and a piece of bread. Just simply rolling off their lips. Masters enlightening us, inspiring us, because out of the youth, out of our youth, is coming this great enlightenment. It's as if our effort has borne great seed. What a great prophecy that was. And the goddesses, the beautiful women that are leading it through their love and their compassion, blessing humanity. And the strength of the rainbow warriors who come forward and serve with joy and peace. Very strong, but very humble.
Thank you.
It's a wonderful time. 2012 synthesis has been a true gathering of the righteous people, the light workers, living and loving and working together in joy, respecting and honoring one another, honoring their elders, caring for one another. It's been a truly tremendous opportunity to come as an elder senior ambassador to give the information that our star brothers and sisters have given us, such as the phenomena like a blue comet passed through the sky the other night and went through the sky turned blue, comet passed through. Others on the other side said they heard it crash, which means it couldn't have been a comet, must have been a meteorite or a spaceship. Nothing else hits the Earth unless it's that. But the prophecy was a blue comet or a blue streak of something will come through the sky and affect the Earth at this time. And that's what happened. The prophecies also said that would awaken the blue starborn, the first star children to come in the Earth during the 1940s and 50s. I'm one of the blue starborn. Those would be activated first, the elders, and then the youngers. And the red, we had red comets, we had triangles, we had spaceships. Everybody reporting it down here in Chi-Chen Itza during Synthesis 2012. And they saw little pyramids, little chrono-monitors, rods, and scones that would come from the sky, sent by the beam ships, the Pleiadean BEAM Ships, to monitor the progress of humanity and to upgrade their DNA during the galactic opening, when the portal is flooding the Earth with love and light and extra-dimensional particle frequencies that the chrono-monitors and the other devices would fractally activate in our own DNA, and people are being enlightened and awakened and joy brought to their hearts. And here they do know why, and they're expecting it, and they're cooperating with it. And it's just been such an honor and a blessing to have been able to come and share in this with family and to give some interpretation.
And what is this moment, I mean, this shift, this change, I mean, what does this indicate for humanity? I mean, people have been talking about apocalypse and other kinds of things, and the people don't understand, or that, you know, is it happening, does it happen immediately or slowly, or what do people need to do? And I guess you have to educate, you know, people who know nothing about it.
Well, you know, there's always the positive and the negative flow, and the understanding and the confusion. And those who know and who know have completely different idea than those who don't. And basically, this is the shift of the ages when, like the Mayan pyramids itself, you ascend and you climb up and it's difficult. And you reach the top, you're at the pinnacle. And this is the shift of the ages when 51% will become positive, have already become positive. We've reached the top, the climax, and now we're going back down. And that's much easier. It's going to be much easier for us, not expending as much energy and receiving back much. Those who are doing the work of the light, the peacemakers, will be empowered now. 51% of the planet during the turn of the ages, the tipping point, will now be positive, more positive, kinder, loving. They'll be easier to create peace on earth, like the ancient hatreds through miracles will become loving and lovers again. Humanity at one time was one heart. Can't imagine how that was, but we were one heart. Everybody was a heart. That's the only organ there was a heart. And through the fall of humanity, everything got mixed up, like in the Tower of Babel. So at that point, we were not really able to be loving anymore. Many of us forgot how to love, and we fell. A lot, though, was not because humanity made an error. That error was only because they loved too much. Without wisdom, love can be misguided and misplaced. So it's very important to operate on this planet with the frequency of love and wisdom. Be ye therefore gentle as a dove, yet wise as a serpent.
And what would be the messages or wisdom that you received in terms of, well, I mean, I guess the key ideas, and you've already maybe said most of them, but yeah, people have all sorts of things they're bringing to this event. And what is your, I mean, you had people raise their hands if they were star children, and I was surprised at how many people claim that to be true. So maybe you could just even tell us about that, and then what is your message or your advice for people, I guess.
The prophecies is that there will come a time when the people who are born from other dimensions and planets will enter the human body for the purpose of lifting the planet. At one time, the story has it that Mother Earth was full of such loving people that they volunteered to take on what are called laggards, or people who are lagging behind in their evolution, and they're more beastly and downtrodden, and they volunteered mainly because the planet was very loving and kind, and they decided, we can heal those people, send them to us, the Earth can heal them. Well, it didn't happen. The negatives all flooded in here, including negative aliens, and they took over the planet, and it became like almost demonic for a long period of time, and it was 26,000 years, humanity has been trying to crawl out of the abyss until the space friends and brothers would come back to assist. And it wasn't punishment, it was just that the force of light was being overshadowed by a negative force. And that was the karma, and that was the consequence. And so people have to learn now to practice love with wisdom. It's like a loving person who's a novice. If they go into an area full of thieves, the thieves are going to steal everything they have. Now, is that wise? Is that loving? Is that the right thing to do? And then also, you take a bean and put them out in the forest, the mosquitoes are going to bite them up. Or you put a little rabbit in a wolf's den or a jaguar's den, the jaguar or wolf is going to eat that rabbit. And so, in this time, it's meant for us to go back, return to the Garden of Eden, where we don't eat our brothers and sister animals, and there will be no beastly entities, no scorpions, snakes, lions, and dragons to worship and feel great about, or figure out what they have to teach us. There will only be happy, joyous creatures, beings that are fully empowered and is equal to the human, equal to whatever life is around, equal to the tree, and we will commune with everything. And that's what these star people are. They're indigo children now, crystal children. They have a more advanced knowledge than those who've gone before, even than the elders. And that's why they are to help lead us. And basically that will happen when we become more silent, more meditative, and giving, and loving. And loving is a giving, never expecting anything in return.
What is a star child?
A star child is an advanced being that is from another dimension. It's at one of the higher evolved worlds, and they were seeded into the human population. And when they awaken, they know where they're from and what their mission is, why they came to the earth. And as you witnessed during an experience like this here at Synthesis 2012 in Maya lands, when we asked a room of 1,000 people approximately, 98% of them raised their hand and said they were star people. Is that not true?
That seemed about the right percentage from what I saw. Yes, most people did. And they identified with it, and they identified with what you were saying as well.
Yes.
What else came up in the discussion? Well, nuclear weapons. I mean, there's some discussion that aliens
that was their first message to us.
Is that right?
When they were appearing in the 50s and the 40s and the 60s to stop using nuclear power.
Right.
It's dangerous. It can destroy the planet. And so the recent message is that the extraterrestrials, the negative extraterrestrials, the positive extraterrestrials have neutralized all the launch codes, and so there will be no nuclear war here. Also, beautiful blessing and gift is that the Mexican government has released tablets that they found. As Master Ezekiel told us, they actually had them for quite some time, and they just recently released them during this sacred time. The Mexican government, though, released them during this time to be a part, to help this. And what it shows is tablets, ancient tablets that were discovered in the tombs that show spaceships destroying a comet that was heading for the Earth. That was also prophesied. They said, do not worry. The planet will not be destroyed by negative aliens or wayward comets. The 3 days of darkness are for those who practice it in their own hearts, minds, and souls. If it's an astronomical event, it's only if 51% or more of humanity are negative, which they are not. So it's my firm belief there won't be 3 days of darkness. There'll be 3 days of light, followed by 30 days of light, and 333 days of light, and more and more and more, until that prophecy is forgotten. No comets, no destruction to the earth, no tidal waves, no floods, no need to save food, no need to dig yourself in the hole in the ground. This is a time to worship and celebrate our joy and our love and our oneness.
Thank you. Let's see. What about anything else that you would like to share, or your own experiences in terms of, you said, when did you realize that you were receiving messages, or
33 years ago when I first came here.
Was it harmonic convergence at that time?
No,
or, no,
that was in 1987.
Okay.
I was also here for that. This was
Okay.
7980.
Okay.
I came here purposely because I was practicing as a naturopathic physician doing alternative healing for about a decade at that time, because I felt that was the best thing I could do on planet Earth, was help people to heal, help your brothers and sisters. But I found that trying to teach people to heal their body when all they really want to do was come to a doctor to get a pill or a healing, and they weren't ready to take responsibility for their own healing, wasn't what I wanted to do anymore. So I became a metaphysician, and I began studying occultism and the secret laws behind nature and what moves planets, people, places, and things. And I began traveling to sacred power places around the planet, such as Egypt and all around India, all around Egypt, up and down the Nile, up and down Mexico, all the way to Central America. All around the planet we went, Tibet, Nepal, with my wife of 27 years, who just recently went back to Venus, who works with me now from Venus, who sends loving energies from Venus with the goddesses of Venus. And her message is there's no death, there's no need to be sad. Nobody should ever be sad when a loved one departs, because love is eternal and there is no death. And so she went to Venus and she helps sending energies of love and blessings to the planet. And her message is humanity has made it. Humanity is being raised up. More and more light every day. More and more angels coming to Earth all the time. And she keeps saying that what poor humanity needs to hear most is they need to call on their angels. That every one of them have their own angels to call on. Every minute that they're born, every child has several angels to help them. And the more they grow and the more work they do, depending on the work that they're doing, they have more angels to call on. They're just waiting to help them. And humanity can call on the masters and cosmic beings constantly and enter into meditation so that they really know how to keep a positive, firm step in everything they do in life. I really have lived my life, and I believe everybody should live by seek ye first the kingdom of heaven, and then all else on earth will be added. And then all the other things that we wish to partake of or do will be sacred, or we won't do them.
Tell me about some sacred sites. You mentioned some that you visited. Why are these places important? For some, they're just tourist attractions. Others have a power, perhaps, or...
I live in Asheville, North Carolina, where I do vortex tours. I was told to go there and do these tours because the starseed would be presenting themselves in these areas. My wife and I star-seeded that area with the help of the extraterrestrials in 1990. And when we returned in 2007, we were blown away by how populated that city had become with starseeds and light workers. They call it the Paris of the Southeast. Everybody's sitting out sipping tea or lattes on the porch, talking to each other and having a wonderful time, drumming on Friday nights. A small enough town where most people know everybody, light works going on of all different kinds, but most important, the Smoky Mountains of Asheville never went under the sea. They are sacred power centers, sacred temples and healing centers and libraries of wisdom that are underneath the mountain, that are being unearthed now by people. Even in Slovakia and in various places over in that part of Europe, they are uncovering pyramids and temples, and that they're scraping away the earth just like they did here. Archaeological digs, and finding pyramids like they did in Egypt and here in the Maya lands. They've done that in America too, they just won't let it be known. In the Grand Canyon and in these mountains are actually pyramids. And underneath are living beings of light that are still there, that were there during the days of Atlantis, that have much to teach us. So I do vortex tours. I have a website about it, stardoves.com and AshevilleVortexTours.com. Asheville is spelled A-S-H-E-V-I-L-L-E. And in there is information about various experiences that people have had when they go on these vortex tours. We do sacred initiations for them And this is what people do when they go to every sacred site. If they have an initiation by a cosmic being who comes to them in one way or the other. In ours, we have tours with initiations meant to enlighten the people who are seeking where to go and why they're going. Flocks of people are moving to Asheville in these sacred places, and we help guide them. I hope there are guides like that at all the sacred places, like Mount Shasta, Sedona, Glastonbury, ChiChen Itza, Egypt. And with these guides, they help to place the people and let them know why they're here. And the guides come through and give sacred messages, and people's lives are uplifted. Otherwise, I would be in some other sacred area. But I'm meant to be there because I'm helping to usher in. It's the heart of the dove. In Dr. J.J. Hurtak's monumental book, Keys of Enoch, Secret Knowledge, the Book of Enoch, Secret Keys of Knowledge, it explains how the dove is the return of the cosmic forces of light that are here to create peace on earth, will return in their spaceships to gather the righteous and educate them more for this age. And the head of the dove is over the Yucatan. The left wing, the heart of the dove, is over Asheville, North Carolina. And then on the right side is the other wing, which is over Arizona and New Mexico. And I've worked that region too. So I've been sent around the planet to work these grids from Egypt to India to Asheville to the Miami Circle in Miami, Florida, to here in Palenque and Chichen Itza and Tulum and Coba and Tikal and all these wonderful places, and hook them up, re-grid, retool the grid so that when the ships come fully, they will act